So would be strict on it that for the first month you just have to be there, stand, hold the gun.
We keep hearing about the fact that there is a possibility of water on Moon or for that matter Mars. So let's say if in case water is there, which means that there might be living organisms as well, right?
I'd say the biggest risk in exploring these possible water pockets is that
You almost represented India. It's far more glamorous and famous route to take, right? What made you make this switch?
first of all, whatever you do, wherever you study, wherever you work, at the end of the day, you have to do something for your nation.
Welcome back to GameRoom. My name is Naveen Tiwari. Today we have a guest who's just 18-year-old. He's one of the youngest we have had on our podcast till date. His name is Keshav and he's a national level shooter in the 10-meter air rifle category.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you for having me here. It's such a great opportunity to be here.
Great. So Keshav, if you could give us a quick introduction and a little background about what you do, and then maybe we can take it from there.
So I started my shooting career or passion, whatever you want to say, in 6th grade. I joined with a few of my friends in shooting at my school. I practiced for 1 year and then COVID hit, so it got stopped for 2 years, I'd say. After that, back in 9th grade, I seriously started doing shooting, and I went for the states that year and then the pre-nationals and nationals level in the following year.
Okay.
In 11th and 12th, I went for the national shooting games. I could not reach the qualifying criteria for the pre-India team trials, but I'm happy with where I am. And now I hope to go to Michigan State University to pursue astrophysics.
Oh, superb. Great. Astrophysics, sounds quite a loaded word, but we'll dwell into each aspect of your life very shortly. But so a little bit more background about, where you from, where were you born and brought up, and how did your schooling go? If you could throw a little more light on that.
So I was born in Kolkata, and we had shifted a lot of cities, and we've been living in Mumbai for the past 7 years.
What does your dad do?
My dad works in Reliance, and my mom used to do a cake business. Right now, she's a homemaker.
Okay, so he had a moving job.
My dad.
Okay, all right. Yeah, then.
So I've been in Sindhya School. It's a boarding school in Gwalior since grade 6th.
Okay.
And there I tried out shooting. During that time, I also had developed a really nice interest in astronomy and astrophysics. I had an encyclopedia since 3rd grade, which I used to flip through the pages and read some of it.
Sure.
I participated in a lot of competitions during my last 4 years. I also had the opportunity to participate in a competition where I would identify 2 provisional asteroids.
Okay.
So that's been a pretty big part of my life. And other than that, I've been participating in other international competitions and just figuring out how to navigate through the astrophysics course.
Wow. Okay. So, so you moved to a boarding school as early as 6th grade. Right?
Yeah.
So you've been staying away from your parents since some time. So how was that like? I mean, do you remember when you were asked, when you were told that you won't be staying with your parents anymore, and then you had to move to a boarding school?
When the idea was first proposed to me, I was totally against it. I did not want to go to the boarding school at all. But my parents were like, just try it out for 1 year and then we'll see.
Okay. Why were they pushing you for it?
So one of my friend's sister was also in a boarding school.
Sure.
They got the idea from that and they wanted to see how I would do.
Okay. All right.
So initially I was against it, but then I went. Even in the initial, I would say, few weeks, I was pretty homesick. I cried a lot also, but after that, once I settled in, I made some friends. I met a lot of teachers. I really started liking the environment, and slowly 1 year passed and it didn't even feel like anything, and I didn't want to come home after that. I felt like staying there.
So during those first few weeks, you spoke about the fact that you were pretty homesick. What were the most challenging aspects, which you were struggling with, other than obviously missing your parents?
So I'd say it's like navigating in this schedule that I'm not used to.
Mm-hmm.
Every day the school would end at like 2 in the day schools, and you'd be free to do anything after that. But in the boarding school, you had a fixed schedule. You have to be on time for everything.
Mm.
Your meal times were assigned, and you could have canteen only once a week at the weekends.
Okay.
Adjusting a lot of that, and then playing sports, living with other people, sharing a common bathroom, all of that played a big role.
That was a struggle, or?
Yeah, in the initial days.
Okay. And what did you start enjoying after a year that you didn't feel like going back home?
First of all, that we were really engaged in whatever we were doing.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed phones in the school,
Yeah.
and no laptops till grade 9th.
Hmm.
So starting few years were totally electronics free. We were doing a lot of sports, inter-house debates and quizzes and studies. We also went on a few trips. So we go on a trip each year, and we first went to Ocha during the first 15 days.
Okay.
There we made a lot of new friends and bonds, with some of whom I've stayed till the end.
Wow. Okay. So, did you have friends before you moved to boarding school who stayed at home?
Yeah.
And when you meet them, are you still able to vibe with them? I mean, or has boarding school also broadened your perspective in any way?
So my shift to boarding school happened right as I shifted from Gurgaon to Mumbai.
Oh, okay. All right.
So my friends were in Gurgaon, and I'd shifted to Mumbai at the same time I went to boarding school. So I've been to Gurgaon, and I've hung out with a lot of my friends
Okay.
whom I had before too.
All right.
But most of my friends that I'm in touch with are now from my boarding school.
Okay. Understood. But so when you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger sister.
Okay. All right. Has she been to boarding school yet?
No.
Okay.
She's in grade 4th.
Oh, acha,
Yeah.
she's quite young.
Yeah.
So you feel that, so you spent what, 6 years at boarding school
7
broadly?
years.
Okay. What has been the biggest highlight of your boarding school days till now?
I'd say,
Highest point, happiest moment, whatever you call it.
so when I was in grade 9th, I had a senior Siddharth. He taught me, trained me for an inter-house IT competition. I learned a lot of photo editing, video editing, and other things. Python also. So that year we did not win. In 10th, I could not participate fully because of boards. But in 11th, I had set out that I would train my juniors and my batchmates so that we can do a lot better in the IT competition, in the inter-house IT competition. That year, after a lot of training, we placed at 2nd position.
Oh, wow.
And in 12th grade, again, we did a lot of training, and we were finally able to secure the 1st position.
Okay.
So that achieving that goal really felt a lot good to me.
What is that competition about? I mean, what do you have to do?
So in there are a lot of different categories in photo editing, video editing, cartoon making, poster making, and quiz. So there's around 8 to 10 people from each house who participate in different sections, and the overall points decides the winner.
Okay. Wow. Nice. So now, if we have to dwell deep into your shooting, pursuit. So you call it passion, but if you have you almost represented India, which means that it was just more than a passion. So shooting from outside, it seems like a very simple sport. But what made you pick up shooting, and how did shooting help you? How did doing shooting help you throughout your life, basically?
So as I said, I went into shooting because of my friends.
Yeah.
I had 2 to 3 friends who also wanted to try out shooting.
Yeah.
So I went there. The first month we only held guns outside of the range. We weren't allowed to take any shots till the first month of our time over there. And after that, we also saw a lot of other people who were taking shots. Some were hitting bullseye, some were doing 2, some were doing 5, 6, and a lot of them. I'd say what hooked me on was that there were a lot of people who were actually trying to train themselves, and they weren't just taking it as like something they wanted to do. They wanted to do good in this field.
Okay.
So there was a josh around everyone, that we have to do good, we have to participate in the state competitions and bring back medals for the school. So that hooked me on really early.
Okay, all right. And if you have to be good at shooting, is
Yeah.
it important to have a good eyesight for that?
I mean, I'm wearing specs,
Yeah.
so I have a bit of power, but you can do shooting while wearing specs, so that does not really factor a lot into
Okay.
your training.
All right, understood. So what is required for you to become a good shooter?
I think you should definitely have consistency of showing up to the range every day.
Okay.
In the starting bits, you go to the range out of excitement and motivation. But when you're 1 year and 2 year into shooting, that initial excitement might not be there.
Yeah.
But you still have to show up to the range for 2 hours at least each day, so that your body does not forget how to stand, how to maintain your balance and precision.
Sure, understood. What made you turn up so frequently then?
Well,
Have you
first of
generally been a diligent person, or I mean, you had to also push yourself?
I definitely had to push myself also, because first of all, there was the school schedule that we had to go every day.
Correct.
But other than that, we also went during the morning times. So for that, I had to push myself to get up and go out of my house and to the shooting range. This was especially during the competition season, so that I can perform better. And I think what supported me also was one of my friend who has been through with me since grade 9th, and we've gone to all of the competitions together. So both of us going together was really one of the main support that I had.
Okay. And you mentioned that during shooting for the first 1 or 2 months, you are just required to hold the gun and not shoot.
Yeah.
Wasn't that frustrating?
That was really frustrating.
Okay.
A lot of felt like just ask sir to give us a shot, but sir would be strict on it that for the first month you just have to be there, stand, hold the gun, so that you don't, on the first shot you don't just start to shoot out of the card, which is very common.
Yeah.
Because if you start to do that, you will just lose interest that you can't do this is not for me.
Yeah.
So I think that's the psychology our coach had in mind before letting anyone shoot.
So how long you would stand with a gun? Because I've seen I went to Padukone Academy and in Bangalore, and we were doing shooting thing. So we were asked to do shooting as well, but then I saw some of the pros standing there and just holding the gun and just looking at it. And when I asked one of the coaches, so they said that for hours they stand like this, just not shooting, just doing like this. So how was your experience initially?
So in the first month, we used to stand for like half an hour to 1 hour maybe. Rest of the time we did a little bit of exercise and running around. After 1 year, we used to stand for like 2 hours, just put the gun down and then pick it up for 30 seconds, then put it down, then
That's
pick it
it?
up. Yeah.
Don't shoot.
In between, I would take like shoots of 10 sets of shots.
Okay.
Just to see how I'm doing.
Sure.
So every 50 to 1 hour, I'd say, like 2 times during the day, I would take shots of 10. And I would just rate myself on how it's been compared to the others.
Okay.
Other than that, I had to pick up my gun and just put it down.
Oh. And how many students, so when you started out, how many students were trying this shooting, and and later how many fizzled out and how many stayed?
So I'd say my friends who joined with me, only one stayed with me and others slowly started going.
How many of them fizzled
we
out?
were about 4 to 5 of us.
Okay. All right.
So one stayed with me and others went on to different sports.
Okay.
And other than that, of the people who were there, I think I'd say about like 60% maybe did
Fizzled
not
out.
do that much and started to try out other sports.
Okay. And would it be safe to assume that you were the best shooter in your school, or there were people better than you?
I'd say we are like 3 people who go up and down.
Okay.
We 3 are at the same level.
Sure.
But there's one junior who is at the same level. So I'd say that he has a lot of a lot more time to get better than us.
Okay. So people who are at the similar level, what sets up one from the other? I mean, in shooting especially.
So it's the main not getting distracted during
Okay.
your shots.
Okay.
Any noise from the background, any other thought you might have in your head, it really distracts when you're trying to aim for the bullseye. Any slight flinch can make the shot go here and there. That, combined with the consistency to come to the shooting range every day, is what I would think separates those who are at the same level.
How do you train yourself then not to be distracted or flinch?
So for me, I think music worked really well. I would listen to music before my competition starts, and that helped me stay in the moment and not think about other things.
Okay. So when you are shooting, you have absolutely zero thoughts in your head and you're just focusing on the target.
That's ideally how it should be, but there are obviously some thoughts which come, like maybe the pressure on my left foot is more, I
Sure.
should balance it out.
Okay.
Maybe it's too cold in the arena, my hand is starting to twitch and all that.
Okay.
But the ideal case should be that there should be no thoughts in the head.
Okay. But whenever you knew that you had to prepare yourself for the competition, other than music, or what are the other exercises which you need to do for you to become better at focus, or for that matter, I mean concentration?
So before every day during the sports time, we had a set routine that for warm-up, we'll do these exercises for 15 minutes. I used to do that before the game.
What kind of exercises?
So simple stretching, rotation of ankles, knees,
Okay.
and hands, head rotation, all of that for 15 minutes. And that sets like a thought in your head that now you've warmed up, now you have to go and play. So you're not distracted that you have to go here, you have to go there.
Okay. But when I look at, some of these Olympic events or national level events, usually, for example, I play badminton. Not at any level, but in our society. But then what happens is that when we are playing, there's a lot of distraction, noise around, and there are a lot of players who do get distracted and they get annoyed, asking people to shut up so that they can focus on the game. But what I always feel is that when you are at at the highest level of your game, the objective is to not cut the noise, but to cut the noise within your head. Because in an event where there are a lot of people, you are required to shoot in spite of the noise, not without the noise. So did you guys also train yourself in the similar manner, or that didn't happen too much?
I wouldn't say we trained specifically for the noise, but definitely when we went for competitions, there would be the audience behind us.
Correct.
Who used to make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So after going for about like 2-3 competitions per year, we started to get used to it.
Okay, all right. But how do you cut that noise out? Because you are with speed and accuracy, both are very important, right, in this competition.
So I wouldn't say I specifically looked at cutting the noise out. I just focused on not focusing on the noise. I would just focus on myself and where I'm aiming and how I'm standing, my stance. Should I take breaks between my sets of 10 shots or not?
Okay. How has sports, shooting is a sport, and how playing shooting, how competing at different levels, how has this impacted in your other aspects of your life?
I think one of the main thing is the grind that goes behind shooting. It's long hours of 2 hours each day. You have to do practically nothing and just pick up and put the gun down. It might get frustrating in between, but then you realize that at the end of the day, you are doing it so that you can perform better at the next event.
Okay.
So I think that has seeped into other areas of my life where I can sit down and just work on something for hours on end, and which helps me get a lot of my work done.
Okay. So you feel that having a sport is very, very critical in anybody's life?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something everyone should have in their life.
Does it also help you in interpersonal relationships as well with your friends, family, or anybody else?
it becomes something we can talk about,
Okay.
and you can also help each other with different strategies and some maybe going together to the range and practicing together. So I think, yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. And I mean, so when you speak with your younger sister, would you want her to, or expect her to also to go and get pick up a sport and I mean, excel at that as well?
I would definitely want her to pick up a sport, but I wouldn't
Of course,
want her
push her.
to definitely excel at it.
Sure.
She can definitely play around in the school, in the society, but it's up to her if she picks up that strong of an interest to continue it further.
Okay. And has it helped you academically as well?
As I said, that the grind that goes behind the shooting, it helps me stay and study for longer hours.
Okay.
Even when I get bored, I just take a 5 minute, 10 minutes break and then I'll go back to studying.
Sure.
So that does help me academically.
Okay. And so now I've spoken too much about shooting, but let's say if in case you spoke about the fact that you have gone to this leadership thing which is known as dexterity. Can you throw a little more light on what is it this all about?
So Dexterity Global is a foundation started by Sharat sir.
Okay.
In that, there is a program called Dex School.
Mm-hmm.
It's an year-long program where the class meets at the end of each year for about a week. And it's about training the next generation of India's leaders.
Okay.
It was recommended to me by, it was not recommended to me, but I rather watched one of my classmates go through it. I saw how he was improving, how he did better at everything. So that's what inclined me to try it out. And I feel that it's now a very big part of my life.
Okay. When did you do this?
I did it from July 2024 to last month.
Okay. What kind of leaders have this program produced? I mean, do we know anybody, known in this field? In any of the fields?
I wouldn't say that right now, but there are a lot of people who have won a lot of international competitions like debates and other project competitions.
Okay.
Then there are also who go through a lot of top universities. Some speak at the UN, some work at the top companies. So right now, I think there's still more time needed for the people who attended this
Sure.
to go out there and make a name.
How is the batch size like, and what does the composition look like?
So the composition is really varied. There are a lot of people from all over India, a lot of socioeconomic backgrounds. And I'd say the class size averages to about 60 or 40 people a year.
Okay.
And we go through online Zoom meetings for the year, where we meet at the end of a year for a week, and we participate in a lot of different activities, such as negotiations.
Okay. All right. And people from different age groups are there, or how is it? Or
It's usually from age group of 13 to like 19 years.
oh, acha, that young. Okay. Wow. And what are your top 3 learnings from this program?
My top 3 learning, I would say, is that first of all, whatever you do, wherever you study, wherever you work, at the end of the day, you have to do something for your nation. You have to contribute towards your nation's growth. And we did a lot of activities. We did a lot of training on entrepreneurship and negotiation.
Okay.
So we learned how to actually negotiate with someone on various topics, how we can start our own entrepreneurial journey and help the people around us, how we can become a local role model and support other people who might have the talent in them but don't have the opportunities to display it.
Okay, great, superb. So now you spoke about the fact that so you are going to Michigan University this year in terms of pursuing astrophysics as a specialization. So what got you interested in this field of study? Because I mean, there are a lot of fascinating movies or series, or for that matter, information which is available some are solved, some are still unsolved. But what got you interested in this?
So since third grade, uh, I did a lot of, I watched a lot of videos on space, rockets. I had an encyclopedia that I used to read, that I used to flip through the pages, watch different, learn or read about different rockets that went to Saturn, Jupiter. One of the earliest ones I remember is the Cassini-Huygens missions.
Okay.
And I think I really started to get interested in the unknowns of this field, how there's a lot of things we don't know about, but seeing the vastness of space, we know that it should be there theoretically.
Okay. Example. I mean, I'm very intrigued by what you are saying right now. What are these unknowns which you are seeking answers for?
So one of the most popularized unknowns would be alien life, extraterrestrial life. There was this person, Fermi Drake. He had developed the Drake equation.
Okay.
And in that, he factored in 7 quantities to show that there should be life out there. And I'd say since like 1980s, our technology has definitely rapidly advanced. But still, we don't have any proof for where we could find them, how we can communicate with them. Lately, I believe the Vera Rubin Observatory has been opened in Chile, and its target is to map the sky for 10 years. That's the only goal it has, so that it can observe changes and find planets where life might be possible to thrive.
Oh, and has there been, because we keep hearing about the fact that there is a possibility of water on Moon, or for that matter Mars, or somewhere else also. Is So let's say if in case water is there, which means that there might be living organisms as well, right?
Yeah, there's a high possibility for that.
But nothing is proven till date.
No, nothing.
Okay.
I'd say the biggest risk in exploring these possible water pockets is that when we send a robot there,
Yeah.
or for that case, any person, a human astronaut, then the possibilities of contamination also increases by a lot.
Oh, yes.
Any particle might go and seep through that, and 10 years later, that might develop into something, and we'll call that extraterrestrial life when actually it was from Earth itself.
Okay, got it. But I mean, so then why do we keep hearing about these UFOs as well as, aliens coming down to Earth? I mean, there are so many, so I keep watching these documentaries on Netflix. And a lot of people testify to the fact that there have been UFO sightings, and there's a place named Area 51 which exists.
Yeah.
So called it exists, that where aliens are still kept and not given out to the public.
So yes, there are a lot of UFO sightings, as said by many people, and in the US also there's a specific department which caters to a lot of these people. They are trying to open up more portals where people can register when they have seen an unidentified anomaly.
Okay.
So right now, a lot of these have been debunked, and a lot of them are fake or like myths which people wrongly perceived.
Sure.
There are still ongoing investigations about some of them, but none of them have been true so far. And I don't think that if aliens were to come down to Earth, they'd let us see them so easily.
Sure. So, for example, there are a lot of unexplained things. For instance, what I've heard is that the way pyramids are made. I mean, from the galaxy, it seems very symmetrical or asymmetrical. So, and the way the pyramids are made, people talk about the fact that a lot of advanced technology came after that. But when that was made, it was humanly not possible to make pyramids in the same manner. And people say that this is also one hypothesis, that maybe aliens made pyramids as well. So none of that. So you feel that a lot of this is myths, and I mean, none of this has been proven yet.
Yeah, I feel that so, because if there was anything, there would surely be some evidence that we can point to that someone else came down on Earth and did this for us.
Yeah.
But a lot of these things just get multiplied by social media with
Yeah.
people contributing their part of fake news that eventually rolls out in major media outlets, and people think it is real.
Sure. So what is, so when you want to study, I mean, which are some of those areas? So obviously extraterrestrial is one of them. What are the other aspects which, because sometimes people have given their whole life to exploring something, and yet it is unexplored. So what would, so let's say if in case you have to call yourself that, okay, if I'm able to find this, then I mean my pursuit towards astrophysics would be successful.
I haven't decided on a point that this would be the epitome of what I want to do.
Sure.
But I'm quite interested in the workings of black holes.
Okay.
And ET, extraterrestrial life, as I said. These two, I think, are the main branches that I want to explore further in the future, and hope to make a lot of improvements in these areas. Like in black holes, the latest main discovery was of the Hawking radiation by Stephen Hawking.
Okay.
That has been one of the major milestones in our understandings of black hole.
What does it say?
So the Hawking radiations basically say that right now we know that black holes only suck in matter. They don't let anything out at any point on their life. But what Stephen Hawking proposed was that actually black holes start to evaporate after some time. So there's this formation of anti-atoms at the edge or the event horizon of the black holes, wherein one of the matter particles gets sucked inside the black hole. However, the other one escapes out. And this can be seen in the form of thermal radiations, which he said that is one of the possible explanations of how black holes might die.
Got it. Wow. I mean, a lot of it sounded alien to me, but it, I mean, it's quite intriguing that this age you have been able to think through so much. So tell me something. I mean, my last question to you is that you could have easily, because you were good at shooting, I mean, and then you almost represented India. It could have been I mean, from a recognition standpoint, right? Let's say if in case you represent India at Olympics and you get recognized, people see you and recognize you everywhere. It's far more glamorous and famous route to take, right? But you've still chosen to, not pursue that too much right now, and chosen astrophysics as a subject which does not have a definitive ending yet. What made you make this switch?
I'd say that what I want is to discover and learn something new every day.
Sure.
If I had taken the route of shooting, then yes, there would be many chances for me to go on the global stage and show myself how good I'm doing. I might win more medals, I might get more famous, but I wouldn't find the satisfaction in doing that as compared to in astronomy, where I might find something new, something that might help others in this field.
Okay.
So what I really want is to discover something new, something that has never been done before.
Superb. All the very best. Thanks a lot. I think a lot of it you spoke about astronomy, or for that matter, I believe that the whole resilience which you have picked up from your sixth grade till date, even through shooting, I believe that it is seeping in a lot in terms of your pursuit to finding something greater. So all the very best in that pursuit, and hopefully few years down the line, बोलते ना, catch them young. People might be able to find your old video from now and say that, oh wow, it's such a great astrophysicist. Once interviewed them at a certain stage. So all the very best for that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah.